just been sitting here pondering about all the trips I went on earlier this year, the trips I have planned later this year, some of the things I've accomplished recently, and just the things that make life fun. And then it got me thinking about interesting people and what makes a person interesting. I used to think it was the people with the crazy stories who traveled the world, or maybe were just charismatic. And I started to realize that that's not necessarily true. Welcome to today's video. When you're younger and let's say you're lifting weights with your buddies, it's a great time. Most of the time, you're lifting weights because you're playing sports and you want to be better at those sports. There's a social aspect to it. It's new, it's a good time. And then you get to college and you're just trying to stay in shape. You're trying to do well at school. You're not trying to put on the freshman 15. You're lifting out with your friends and it's a great time. You're fine with it. And then you get older and you've been doing this for a decade now, lifting weights, and it gets a little boring. Every single day going through the same freaking split, it gets boring and you start to lose your passion for it. And that's when people pick up things like marathon training or high rocks, CrossFit, swimming, biking, whatever it is. You start to find something that interests you a little bit more. And in this example, I'm just talking about fitness related things, but it could be painting, hiking, singing, playing the guitar, pool, like shooting, like billiards, photography, swimming. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is you are passionate about it. And from following those things that you're passionate about, it makes you more interesting because now you have stories to talk about that not many people get involved with. If somebody's telling me about photography, I have no idea. I'm interested in this conversation, and the passion that you have for doing those things rub off when you talk about them and draws people in. Although I will say, as passionate as I am about running, I am not passionate about this workout right now. I died last week doing this one, and we're repeating it for the most part. Man. Well, that wasn't the greatest 10-mile workout I ever had. I was supposed to be at marathon pace. Didn't really have it in me, so ended up being more like marathon pace effort, a little bit slower, but that's okay. Just makes for a better story. And on that run, I was thinking about what makes a passionate person interesting. And it's because they're willing to try 100%. And for whatever reason, people are so easy and so quick to make fun of people who try to grow a YouTube channel, start a business, try in school, try to run a marathon, order a salad at lunch because they're trying to lose weight. But trying is what makes you interesting, because if you're really passionate about something and you're really going to try at it, just because you fail doesn't mean you won't succeed, but failure makes for a more interesting story. So passion makes somebody interesting because they're willing to try really hard. That right there is honestly one of my favorite views. Now, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody likes their own thing. And you might want the sky lounge, rooftop, ocean view. And don't get me wrong, that's nice too. But for me, these little palm trees right here, they're my babies. And I've learned that something that also makes a person interesting is being a little bit different. Now, there are a lot of ways on how you can be different, and there's a lot of ways people are different, but one of those reasons is that everybody knows the meme or the saying of don't follow the herd, don't be another sheep, create your own path. And you do that by having your own opinion and having those opinions and not being afraid to speak up about them. Interesting people don't just repeat everything they've heard. They read, they think, they challenge their own thinking, and at the same time challenge other people to think. And they do all this to form their own opinions. So an interesting person is someone who is their self, and you become yourself by being passionate and thinking on your own. People remember those types of people that were unique. People who have their own opinions and chase things that they're passionate about are way more interesting because they can describe why they believe something. So many times I've met people that believe just what they've heard and they never actually do their own research, never form their own opinion, and just repeat what they hear. And it doesn't have to be political or religious. It could just be something small on why you think you should set your bedroom temperature at whatever before sleep. Figure out on your own. Create your own opinion. And when people challenge you on that idea, have a reason as to why you believe that. Don't just repeat what other people are saying, because that makes a less interesting person. Wow, look at that. Tell you what, whoever is on this boat, I'm sure they have an interesting story. Just taking your yacht out, cruising around, nothing better to do. There's been a few failures in that story. That person had their own opinion. Thankfully, a day where we don't have a crazy intense workout, and I'm not gonna let it go to waste. I was actually excited to get up about the same time this morning, even though today's workout's only 4 miles easy, because I wanted to explore a little bit on this run this morning. There's a couple little streets I hadn't been down because I don't really know how long they are. They don't really fit into my normal loop. And obviously it's a beautiful morning. And so I wanted to explore a little bit this morning. And that had me thinking about the third thing that makes someone interesting. And it's that they're curious. They aren't afraid to, and they want to do new things. Travel to new places, try new foods, create new paths, come up with a brand new idea to share with everybody. Again, this is similar to having your own opinion and not following the crowd. Creating your own path makes you stand out. This is the physical side of having your own opinion. Doing something new, being curious and asking the questions of, what is that like? And over time, you gather more and more experiences, creating a better story, making you more unique, and making you more of an interesting person. Holy cannoli. I'm so stoked for how pretty that this is about to look. Here we go. Oh, wow. Do you hear that? Absolutely nothing. Oh, yeah, baby. I'm obviously filming a little video here. That's why I filmed it. But sometimes I still like to take pictures of the sunrises or sunsets. And not because you can't just find the exact picture probably online, which whenever I see people take photos of artwork, statues that have been around for thousands of years, I think to myself, I'm sure you could find a professional photo of it somewhere online. Put your phone away and look for yourself. But at the same time, interesting people leave a mark. Interesting people create things. Now, for me, I'm creating a video right now, but it could be a book, a business, a thought, idea, a building, a legacy. People build things, they create them so that there's evidence that they were there. Now, this isn't saying, yes, take photos of all the famous statues that you stumble upon, because I still think that's dumb. But on a deeper level, create something. Don't just consume. And I think that makes you a more interesting person, because you've all seen the memes of the typical Gen Z girl who only speaks in TikTok language, and you think, man, that's pretty cringe. And it is, because they're not their own person. When you create things, it leaves your mark on it, and your mark then starts to mean something. One of the last things that I've learned separates interesting people from boring people is one of the simplest but hardest things to do. They take action. They actually do something. They build things. They leave evidence that they were here. They create events. They get the trips out of the group message. They make jokes. They get everybody laughing. They don't sit there repeating things that other people have said, shaking their head, waiting for something to come their direction. They go out and they attack and they go after the things that they want. Most people consume, interesting people create. And I think everybody wants to be more interesting. Everybody to want to hang out, to do the things that I want to do. And ironically, the fastest way to become more interesting is to stop trying to be interesting and go and take action towards building a life that you actually want. So to be interesting, be you. Guys, I'm going to end the video right here. Wanted to shout out the course that I created on how to use fitness to create a more meaningful life. It's not necessarily a fitness program. It's about using fitness as a practice field to basically become more interesting. Links below. You put your email in, it'll send it over. It's free. Let me know what you think of it. And I think the biggest takeaway from all this is stop trying to be something that you're not, because it's making you less interesting. So if you want to be an interesting person, which I think most people do, just be you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.